Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
Right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Local, I love it.
We're going behind the scenes at Louisville's Omni Hotel.
Of the best that Louisville has to offer.
And we're going into the kitchen at this Louisville landmark signature restaurant, Bob's Steak and Chop House.
Incredible.
The best steaks in Louisville.
Bob's top chef reveals the secrets to the perfect steak and this.
Oh, look at that.
Bob's double-boned Kentucky Proud pork chop.
The pork chop was delicious.
And in Lexington, a labor of love.
That's a secret.
A husband-wife team reveals the secrets behind their restaurant's success story, built on old family recipes.
Great time, great food.
And new ways to use smoke.
The cheese will start melting.
Yummy, gooey, ooey.
And we'll set sail along the Ohio, where we discover a creative new way to cook with bourbon using old barrels.
Salmon on a cedar plank, but you do it a little differently.
There's a hot smoke. It adds wonderful flavor to it.
It's another tasty culinary journey through Kentucky. Come along with us right now on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. Tim Laird with you again on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, where we're getting rare access to one of Kentucky's premier destinations, the Omni Hotel, which has quickly become a Louisville landmark.
It's tough to beat.
The Omni is known for a lot of things, but most importantly, Bob's Steak and Chop House.
I love Bob's.
Couldn't ask for a better overall experience.
From the steaks to the sides and all the way through dessert, Bob's does it big.
The food speaks for itself, so it's incredible.
And the decor is decidedly Louisville. From the restaurant's tribute to Muhammad Ali to its collection of rare Louisville sluggers.
This is a great restaurant.
I think this is the place to come if you're looking for a steak, potatoes.
Truly, I think the best steaks in Louisville.
Paul Sant is the executive chef at Bob's.
You gotta love your office here.
I do. Best job I've had.
Everything in Paul's kitchen is state-of-the-art, and the beef is the best there is.
We are using only prime beef.
Star 14 ounce.
They serve just about any cut you could want.
We have beef tenderloins. We have on-the-bone Côte de Boeuf, a Kansas City steak in 2 different sizes. We have a porterhouse steak, a T-bone steak. So there's multiple steaks on the menu.
And that includes my favorite, the filet.
Paul, I know the filet is one of the signature dishes here at Bob's Steak and Chop House, and you're going to share the secrets to that.
Yes, and it's pretty simple.
The first secret is a simple seasoning, salt and pepper.
So you put a little seasoning on there,
Yes,
just a little
put
salt
some
and
seasoning.
pepper?
Yes, and that's all it is. It is salt
Right on
and
the hot-
pepper.
salt and
That's
pepper.
all it is.
The other secret is extreme heat.
It is a top heat slide broiler, and while the top heat is working, it is heating up our grill plate, and it'll get that plate to somewhere around 750 degrees. We're going to turn our filet in a moment.
Wow. I see that crust is starting to form, Paul.
Starting to, yes.
It gets even better when he moves the steak from the broiler to a searing hot flat top
Here it comes.
and douses it with clarified butter.
Wow. Look at that. That is gorgeous.
And it's pretty spectacular while we're cooking multiple steaks. You have a dance of multiple steaks going.
And check out the dance partners for the steaks. First, Bob's signature glazed carrot.
Look at the size of that carrot.
Yeah, no doubt. Glazed carrots are orange juice, brown sugar, cinnamon, and then the glaze itself is slightly thickened. It's almost a Thanksgiving type feel about it.
Oh.
But they're quite delicious.
And to go with that, how about a heaping portion of smashed potatoes?
Our potatoes are smashed potato, skillet potatoes, or baked potato.
And now, the crown jewel, that perfectly cooked filet.
A little more of the clarified butter goes
Certainly.
on. That's
it.
Is gorgeous.
Yep.
And look at that's one serving.
That is one serving.
You're not going to go away hungry, as I
Yeah.
told you. I mean, this is amazing.
It was crisp on the outside and moist in the middle.
Perfectly prepared, of course.
I thought it was incredible.
Just as a steak should be.
I know it's Steak and Chop House, but
Yes.
what other offerings do you have?
We have a local duck, we have a local pork chop, and every day we have a fish special.
And here's another secret. No matter what you choose for your entree, save room for the sides.
Brussels sprouts as a side, we have cream corn, we have cream spinach, we have a lobster mac and cheese that's finished with truffle oil, sauteed potatoes, whipped potatoes, huge baked potatoes.
Oh, and the applesauce.
The applesauce is made from scratch, and it goes perfectly with this. Bob's Kentucky Proud double-boned pork chop.
It's very good.
It's crispy and Kentucky proud and just wonderful.
Double bone, 16 ounces, local. I love it. I love it.
I love that too.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
doubt.
that's a
Yeah.
big chop.
Pretty amazing.
The secret to this is just like the steak.
It's just salt and pepper, kosher salt and pepper.
So the secret is simplicity because you're letting the meat do the talking.
No doubt.
And now it's going into your friend the
It's
broiler?
going, yes.
That sizzle hits it. There it goes.
Yeah.
You know it's working. All right, in the meantime, Chef, what are we going to make here?
Why don't we make the applesauce for it?
Oh, perfect. It goes great with pork,
It
right?
does. It goes.
Applesauce,
It goes
pork.
very, very well. It's a very simple recipe, and I'll share it with everybody.
So we can do this at home.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and it really is a very nice, clean flavor. Just dicing it up, and then it is allspice and cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, a bit of sugar,
He puts that on the heat and then adds the liquids.
water. We've got some honey. The liquid reduces, the sugars all meld in, and then the apples are able to break up, and it becomes a thick compote.
And that's when the next secret comes in that gives this applesauce the signature flavor of Kentucky.
Now in goes the bourbon.
Here comes the bourbon, right?
Chef, from this point, how long does it take until it's completely finished?
I would say about 35
So
minutes.
about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
You can do this at home. You already saw the ingredients that goes in. What a great treat.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And our other treat is coming along well too.
Ready.
It's ready to go. Starting to sizzle. So up on the top of the grill.
Little clarified butter.
Certainly, yeah. We're going to let it sit on one side for a moment. We're going to turn it over, and then we're going to finish the plate with the side of applesauce.
Perfect. Oh, look at that.
One of our choices for potatoes are skillet potatoes, sliced fried potatoes with caramelized onions, and then a peppercorn gravy, which goes really well as a steak or pilau sauce. But yeah, here comes our pork.
Applesauce side.
Yeah, here it is, our double bone 16-ounce Kentucky Proud pork chop, which we're also thrilled to have on the menu.
And you've got to be proud of this one.
No doubt. Yeah.
It was wonderful.
I'm taking it home, so I'll be in good shape, and I will come back.
Paul, I'm just so impressed with your kitchen, but also your bar is gorgeous and well stocked. Also, a beautiful wine cuvee as well
Yeah.
that you have.
With 1,500 bottles of wine right now.
That is great.
We have lots of wonderful wine.
Make sure you make reservations
Yes.
well in advance and,
We love
and
open
come
table.
hungry.
No doubt, come hungry.
Okay,
Yeah, huge
two
sal-
good
yeah.
secrets to know
Yeah.
about Bob's Steak and Chop House.
No doubt.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Still to come, brand new barbecue concoctions in Lexington.
I love their "Oh no, you didn't" grilled cheese sandwich.
Oh, no, you didn't.
That is the sandwich that launched a food truck and a business.
The secret to that and chicken fried baby backs at J. Render's when Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs returns.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud, with support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Nicely done, beef. You might be the only meat with a knife named after you. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
If you can eat it, we'll try to figure out if we can smoke it.
I'm Kevin Harned with Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, the show that crisscrosses Kentucky in search of your favorite restaurant food and the secrets to making it yourself at home.
And right now, we're going out to eat at a restaurant where the goal is to make you feel right at home.
So it's like eating at our house.
We feel like family here.
You know, we want it to be personal. We want you to get a local feeling when you're here.
It's J. Render's Southern Table and Bar, where they're experts at comfort food, and especially if it's smoked.
The pulled pork, I like the brisket.
We've tried to smoke a little bit of everything.
We'll smoke meatballs.
We do smoke short ribs.
And I like his chicken.
It's fantastic.
They even smoke chicken wings.
Our wings are to die for.
Oh, these wings are awesome. This is what brought us here in the first place.
Really meaty, good wings, smoked.
Now I get them every time I come here.
Ask any expert on barbecue, and they'll tell you it's a labor of love. And that's exactly what's going on here at J. Render's, a restaurant owned and operated by a husband and wife, Ren and Gwen Everly.
We spend every waking moment together.
Gwen spent most of her life as an engineer at Lexmark and a math teacher, until one day she told Ren it was time for a change.
She said we should start a food truck.
I feel bad. I kind of drug him into this.
We got a food truck. We had it fitted up. We could have had it out 3 times a day, 7 days a week, and
it just kind of grew from there.
it eventually morphed into the restaurant.
He laughed and said, "My wife got me a restaurant for my 60th birthday."
Here we are.
Over on Beaumont Center Circle.
It's easy to see why J. Render's is such a success story. Family recipes made with love and patience.
You can't hurry smoked food.
And you never know what will come out of the smoker next.
We smoke our cheddar cheese that goes in our smoked mac and cheese.
If it gets over 90 degrees in here, the cheese will start melting. It'll just melt right through the grates. So we have just a small little tube that puts out the smoke, that gives you a lot of smoke, but it doesn't give you a lot of heat.
40 pounds of cheddar at a time, 3 days a week. Why so much? Well, the simple answer is this: J. Render's smoked mac and cheese. Great on its own, and the secret to J. Render's signature sandwich.
That is the sandwich that launched the food truck.
It's the "oh no you didn't."
It's one of those yummy, gooey, ooey things that you get done, you're like, oh, that was good, and you just have to turn your mind off on what the calorie count is.
It's a grilled cheese with pulled pork and smoked mac and cheese.
Chef Steve Tynan shows us how it's made.
Put down a healthy amount of butter, 2 pieces of Texas toast, 2 slices of American cheese.
While that starts to melt, Steve warms up some slow-smoked pulled pork alongside it.
We'll cover it with our How Sweet It Is barbecue sauce. Pork goes right on the sandwich.
And then a big scoop of J. Render's smoked mac and cheese.
Made with our smoked cheddar that you saw earlier. Now he's ready to go.
Smoked mac and cheese on barbecued pulled pork on more cheese on Texas toast.
The first time it was made, the owner's daughter said, "Oh, no, you didn't."
But oh, yes, they did. And folks have been craving it ever since.
Yeah, I've done that. I don't always do it all the time because it's one of those indulgences, but it's quite yummy when you do it.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And wait until you see this. You've heard of chicken fried steak. Well, how about chicken fried baby back ribs?
It's excellent.
The secrets to that and more next on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud.
Nicely done, beef. You make it acceptable for men to use the word tender. A protein like no other. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Glad to be with you again on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. I'm Kevin Harnett, back at J. Render's Southern Table and Bar in Lexington.
Eat here a lot.
I enjoyed it.
We're accidental restaurant owners.
Owners Gwen and Ren Everly are new to the restaurant business, but their recipes go way back.
Everything's made in-house from our own recipes.
My grandmother's cornbread recipe, collard greens.
The collard greens take days to make because that's how Grandma did it.
By the time you eat them, it's been about 3 days of cooking. Good things come to those who wait.
And for as many old recipes on the menu, there are plenty of new creations too. If you're a fan of smoked ribs, you'll find some of the best you've ever had at J. Render's, and something a little different. Check this out: chicken fried ribs.
It sounds good. It's probably better than what you're thinking.
It's excellent.
For the chicken fried ribs, we're going to be using our Kentucky kernel flour.
That's seasoned and used as the breading, along with buttermilk that's kicked up with hot sauce.
The ribs are smoked.
Once cooled, this beautiful rack of baby backs gets sliced up, rib by rib.
You're going to cut it right in the middle.
And then it's on to the breading process. Each rib goes into the flour first, then the buttermilk, and back into the flour.
We'll do the classic dry, wet, dry. We'll get these covered all the way. We'll bring them straight over to the fryer. And those should take about 2 minutes until they're golden brown. It's worth the wait. We'll go straight on the plate. This is our deep fried pork ribs. You gotta eat it to believe it.
You gotta love that. And the original recipes don't stop in the kitchen. You'll also find them at J. Render's Bar.
This is our bourbon chocolate bonbon martini.
Josh Brown shows us the secrets to how it's made.
It's actually not a super complicated cocktail to make, so I use a little Woodford double oak. And then I like to give a splash here of a little vanilla vodka. Then I like to use a white creme de cacao. And then I finish it off with some bourbon cream.
It all gets shaken up with ice, and the glass gets dressed up with chocolate sauce.
Dress up the glass. And then our garnish here, we've skewered our bonbon. Should be a lovely cocktail. Our bourbon chocolate bonbon martini.
It's like if winter and bourbon had a baby, this would be it.
It tasted like a liquid bourbon ball.
If you're looking for good comfort food and cocktails, the secret's out. You've got to check out J. Render's Southern Table and Bar in Lexington, where they make going out to eat feel a lot like coming home. Coming up, using old bourbon barrels as the new way to cook salmon on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.
Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs is a presentation of Kentucky Proud, with support from the Kentucky Beef Council. In Kentucky, beef is still what's for dinner. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Welcome back to Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs, where we've seen an old warehouse on Louisville's waterfront turned into one of the city's favorite restaurants. It's Chef John Varanese's River House, where they serve seafood with a southern flavor and hospitality. My co-host Tim Laird is in the kitchen with the chef to reveal more secrets. Tim?
This is kind of a Kentucky twist to salmon on a cedar plank, but you do it a little differently.
Instead of cedar, he cooks the fish on a bourbon barrel stave.
Instead of doing this cedar plank, we put the salmon on there. We're going to use the same charbroiler. And that charbroiler is going to heat that wood up enough and start to smolder and release that smoke and kind of smoke it as we're cooking it. So it's a hot smoke. It adds wonderful flavor to it.
This beautiful salmon, this oak stave that's already been charcoaled and soaked with a lot of bourbon.
Yes, and this is kind of what the stave starts off like. We cut them into fours to make them smaller, and it's the perfect size for the salmon.
Perfect.
And you can do this at home on the grill too. We're just going to take a little bit of food pan spray there just so the salmon doesn't stick, and just put it on our piece of wood and season generously a little salt and pepper. And then we're going to take this back to our 1500 degree charbroiler here. All right, it's going to take about 5 minutes to cook in there. And we're going to let this just kind of do its own little magic. In a couple minutes here, that heat will start toasting that stave, burning it a little bit, releasing some of that smoke flavor, and it just adds a nice sweetness to it. You know, the bourbon wood compared to the cedar plank is going to, of course, have that little bit of bourbon in there. You got the little
lot of flavor,
some residual sugar that's going to burn off, and
gotta love
and again that smoky flavor in there. It just makes a really great dish.
And if you're going to do this home, we could do it out on the grill outside. Again, it's going to take a little longer than the 1500 degrees you got here, but you could actually do it right on your grill grate.
Yeah, and I would definitely keep the lid on it once the wood catches fire a little bit to trap that smoke. So our salmon's ready over here. We're just going to time for plating.
That beautiful piping hot salmon goes over the top of River House's Southern-style ratatouille and roasted potatoes.
We take some fingerling potatoes, we cut little medallions out of them, and we saute them with a little bit of balsamic and fresh dill.
That's phenomenal. Oh, ratatouille's down, potatoes down now.
All right, we're going to top it with our bourbon barrel plank salmon, and then we're going to finish it with our lemon caper aioli. Really delicious of the aioli that really goes well with the tomato. And then we just add a little color with our fresh pea tendrils.
John, that is absolutely fabulous. It looks incredible, and I like the way you add a little Kentucky to the salmon. However you get here. It's the River House. Wow. If you haven't had a chance to make your way down to the Ohio River at River House, you should do so. You will enjoy it. We appreciate you watching Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs. For Tim Laird, I'm Kevin Harned. We'll see you next time when we take you out to eat, into the kitchen, and into the minds of some of the Commonwealth's best chefs right here on Secrets of Bluegrass Chefs.